and in this week's live lesson, we're going to talk about 3 patterns to make social plans in English. This week, we're going to talk about 3 key patterns you can use to talk about what you want to do, to make a suggestion, and to ask questions about your social plans. So I hope this lesson is very helpful, whether you are a beginner or a more advanced learner. As you join, please make sure to hit the like button and of course share this video so other people can find today's lesson. That would be super cool. And while we wait for everyone to join us live, I want to mention this banner at the bottom of the screen, which says get your free PDF cheat sheets. The team has a ton of free PDF cheat sheets you can find at EnglishClass101.com. So you can download these from the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You will find this page right here, and if you scroll down on this page, you will find so many different PDFs. Yeah, check it out. There's so many, and the team adds new ones to this page. So if you downloaded previously, you can come back here and download the new ones also for free. So check it out. You can download all of them. You just need your name and an email address to make a free account. Log in, come here, download everything. Or if you have an account, cool, then just come to this page after you log in. So I hope that's helpful for everybody. All right. I'll remind you again later, but let me say hello to the chat. Hello, Renee and Mino on YouTube. HP Paul, hello. Nevian, hello. Fact, hello, Rocky. Natalie, Zach, Jose, hello. Welcome, everybody. Facebook, I don't see Facebook comments yet, but what's up, Facebook? Hello, you are connected. Okay, so while actually, yeah, that's fine. Let's look at today's main patterns then. Today, we're going to focus on 3 key types of sentence. We're going to practice I want to plus a verb to talk about basic desires. We're going to talk about would you like to and shall we for more polite suggestion making. And we're going to talk about where do we and where is to ask details about your plan. All 3 of these are very important to do when you're making plans with somebody. We're going to start today with a quick dialogue. I'll read through the dialogue and give you some tips about the dialogue, and then we'll practice these sentences. So if you have questions, send them in the chat, and we'll get into it very shortly. If you missed it, don't forget to check this out, the link below. Okay, I'll come back to this later. Let's take a look at the sample dialogue. We have a lot to cover. I'll read it once, and then we'll come back through, okay? If you're ready, now is the time. Pay attention, there will be a quiz, okay? So first, the first character says, I've had such a long week. I really want to take a break tomorrow. Same here. I want to try that new cafe by the river. I heard their pastries are amazing. That sounds nice. Would you like to go there together in the morning? Sure. I'd love to. After that, shall we walk along the Riverside Trail? Perfect. But first, where do we meet? I don't want to get lost. Good point. Actually, where is the entrance to the trail? I've never been there. I think it's next to the old bridge, but I want to check the map to be sure. Great idea. In that case, would you like to meet at the bus stop around 10. That works for me. And afterwards, I want to look around the weekend market nearby. Okay. Oh, sorry, last one. Sounds fun. Before we finalize everything, shall we find out where the market is exactly? Sure. It looks like it's just a few minutes from the trail entrance. Perfect. Then our weekend plan is set. Okay, that should be the end now. Yes, so you saw the questions. Okay, so let's review the sentences in this dialogue because there are some key points here for making plans, okay? So let's break them down. Send me your questions live in the chat too. Okay, I want to begin with this sentence. So we begin with this character who says, I've had such a long week, I really want to take a break tomorrow. Okay, so here we have the first example of a desire sentence. I really want to take. This is one of our key patterns we're going to practice in this video. And she uses this emphasizer, really. I really want to take, okay? This shows her level of desire is strong. I really want to take a break tomorrow. Also, when you are speaking, this want to becomes wanna. I really want to take a break tomorrow, okay? We're going to see this pattern many times today. So in speech, I'm going to say wanna, but in text, it will say want to. We use wanna in more casual text conversations, but in speech, it usually sounds like wanna. If you say want to, it sounds unnatural and robotic, okay? Let's go to the next one. Same here. I want to try that new cafe by the river. I heard their pastries are amazing. Again, we see the same pattern. I wanna try in this case. So you can see after want to, we have a verb in the base form, yeah? The next sentence, that sounds nice. She agrees, okay? Would you like to go there together in the morning? Here we see one of the second types of sentences, a suggestion sentence. She asks, would you like to go? Okay, so would you like to is a polite way to make a suggestion, and we finish it with a verb in the base form. Would you like to go there together in the morning? Okay, let's continue to the next one. He says, sure, I'd love to. Notice he ends with to. I'd love to. This means I'd love to go there in the morning, but we finish casually with to. Sure, I'd love to go, right? But just finish with to sound natural, okay? After that, shall we walk along the Riverside Trail? Here, this person uses another suggestion pattern. Shall we walk? Shall we tends to sound a little more formal, a little more polite. For today's lesson, we are using some more polite expressions in the conversation to practice, but usually I personally rarely use shall we with my friends, unless it's like a standalone phrase. This kind of expression feels a little too formal. I'll talk a little later about some other expressions you can use. So we have the same verb at the end. Shall we walk in the base form here, okay, to make the suggestion. Then, perfect, but first, where do we meet? I don't want to get lost. Okay, 2 key points here. She asks, but first, where do we, plus the verb meet. Where do we, blah, 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 okay? Where do we? This is the question you use to ask about location of something. Where do we, or this can change depending on the situation. Who are you asking about? You can say, where do I submit my application? Where do I go? Where do we meet? And so on. We'll practice this more in this lesson today. Notice again, the verb is the same base form verb. So we are using only base verbs in these patterns, okay? Then he responds, good point. Actually, where is the entrance to the trail? I've never been there. Here, he asks another clarifying question. Where is the, and then a noun phrase, entrance to the trail. So here we have a noun phrase, not a verb, okay? Notice where is versus where do, okay? Where do plus verb, where is the noun. We'll practice this pattern later as well, okay? And we're almost through it. I think it's next to the old bridge, but I want to check the map to be sure. I want to check the map to be sure. Here we have another desire expression. Then, great idea. In that case, would you like to meet at the bus stop around 10? Another suggestion pattern. Would you like to meet at the bus stop around 10? She responds, that works for me. That works means that is okay for my schedule. That works. Use that one to sound natural. And afterwards, I want to look around the weekend market. Here's our verb, look, and our desire pattern, I want to. Okay, on to the last one. Sounds fun. Before we finalize everything, finalize means decide on the plan completely. Make it final, finish the plan, okay? Before we finalize everything, shall we find out where the market is exactly? Shall we find out, okay? Again, another suggestion here. And then, Sure, it looks like it's just a few minutes from the trail entrance. Okay, perfect. Our weekend plan is set. So, in this short conversation, which is usually very fast, we have lots and lots of examples of desire phrases and suggestion phrases, and we have questions as well. Where should we meet? Where do we go? So today we're going to practice these, and I hope you can put them together. So, a review then. The first one, what does Sarah is this character, the girl in this situation, what does Sarah say she wants to do at the beginning of the conversation? Do you remember? What does Sarah say? We can go back, I'll help you. At the beginning of the conversation, she says, I've had such a long week. I really want to take a break tomorrow, right? I really want to take a break tomorrow. So we can use this as the answer to the question. What does Sarah say she wants to do? She wants to take a break. Okay, oops, sorry, that's an E. Take a break, okay. She wants to take a break. Yeah, we love that. We love to take a break, right? Okay, then the second question. What activity does Leo, the boy in the situation, what activity does Leo suggest they do after visiting the cafe? After visiting the cafe. Let's take a look. We'll go back in the conversation to find the information. He says, I want to try that new cafe by the river, right? So that's part one. What does he say after this as his suggestion? He says, after that, shall we walk along the riverside trail? Here is our answer. So we can come back, we can come back here. He suggests, so what activity? That means we need to use a noun phrase to answer this question, yeah? So Leo suggests walking. To make it a noun, we use walking along the trail, okay? Or along the riverside trail. Okay, answer number 2. And then, why does Sarah want to check the map? Why does Sarah want to check the map? Let's go back to find out why Sarah wants to check the map. Ba-dum. All right, here he suggests the riverside trail. She says, first, where do we meet? I don't want to get lost, right? Okay, and then where's the entrance to the trail? I've never been there. I think it's next to the bridge, but I want to check the map to be sure. Okay, so she says, I want to check the map to be sure because she said in this sentence previously, I don't want to get lost. I don't want to get lost. So to answer this question, Sarah said, I don't want to get lost, right? So how do we answer this question to report Sarah's feelings on this? We can say, to answer, why does Sarah want to check the map? We answer with the subject she. She doesn't want to get lost. She doesn't want to get lost. Okay, great. So this is how we can answer questions like these with natural responses as well. Okay, let me come and check the chat. Hello, everybody that is joining. Hello, Facebook, everybody on Facebook. I see some questions in the YouTube chat. Abdul asked, what is the meaning of trail? A trail, where is that word? Here we go, trail. Trail is a hiking path or a walking path in the forest. Usually in the forest, near a river. It's a nice small road for walking along. That's a trail, okay? Let me see the other ones that we have here. Mina wrote, this winter vacation, I really want to spend more time with my lovely dogs. Great use of want to. We're going to practice that next. Nice example sentence there. Others, hello everybody joining. Nevian, I thought I'd love to, not to. I'm not sure, is it a question or example sentence, Nevian? Maybe you can make an example sentence or make a question with that. Patrick wrote, I would like to save money. I would like to save enough money, if you want to use enough there. I would like to save enough money to travel to Alaska. Alaska has a K, not a C. Look out, close though. Next year. I'd love to see what the nature there is like. I'd love to see what the nature there is like. Then your sentence is perfect, Patrick. Okay. Zachary wrote, shall we make calculations before getting to the real conclusion? Okay, vague, but okay, grammatically correct. Others, Rocky wrote, this holiday I want to go Christmas shopping at the mall with my brother. Great examples, everybody. We're going to practice this I want to pattern. after this. So now that we have seen the dialogue, we have seen a conversation with these, we're going to move along to practicing these sample sentences, and I'm going to introduce some different types of sentences you can use to express your desire in more casual and more formal ways. But first, if you missed it before, the team has a bunch of free PDF cheat sheets. Yay! You can find these from the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube, or above the video if you're watching on Facebook. You will find many, many different PDFs here. If you have not checked recently, go download everything that looks exciting to you and use them to practice. You can find conversation practice lessons. You will find vocabulary PDFs, for example, for travel. Oh, this one, like emergency one. There's all different topics, and I think now there's also a phone conversation practice too. So you can download all of those at EnglishClass101.com. Check it out. Okay, with that, let's continue to practicing these sentence patterns. And if you haven't, please make sure to hit the like button and share this video so others can find the lesson. Let's continue. Hello, Facebook OCs, what's up? I hope I said your name right. And Ariel, hello. And Tyson, what's up, everybody? Let's continue. Let's talk about this pattern. I want to, plus the base form of the verb. This is the simple pattern we saw many times in the conversation just now. So we can use this to express our desire, our preference, or our plans, right? This is an easy one to use, and like I said, we usually say, I wanna in speech. I wanna in speech, okay? And then, an important note here. We saw it one time in the conversation. To make the negative form, add don't before want. So, right here, we saw it in the conversation. I don't want to, blah, blah, blah. She said, I don't want to get lost in the conversation, right? So again, we place don't with wanna together in speech. I don't wanna. And we reduce so much, we reduce a lot. I don't wanna is how it sounds at native speed. So let's practice. We have a couple more examples as well. I'd like to plus verb. We have I'm hoping to plus verb, and I feel like verb ing. I'm hoping to and I feel like. There are some key differences here, so let's talk about it. I'd like to is like I want to. I'd like to sounds a little more formal. One key tip for you learners out there, don't forget to pronounce this clearly. A very common mistake is learners saying I like to. Different meaning. I'd like to is the reduced form of I would like to. I'd like to, okay? I'd like to, verb. I'd like to meet you at 10. Is that okay? I'd like to get a coffee, right? So we can use this similar to I want to, all right? Next is I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to. So hoping, we use this sometimes, I suppose, in the ing form. We might sometimes say I hope to also. That's also okay. But I'm hoping to sounds like right now, I'm imagining the future. I'm thinking about the future. I have an idea for a plan I want to do. I want to do that plan, but it's not 100% yet. So for example, I'm hoping to visit this new restaurant in my neighborhood soon. Or I'm hoping to go on a cool vacation next year. It means the plan is not 100% yet, but right now I'm feeling really excited about it. I want to do that thing, but I have not finished the plan yet. I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to find a new job next year. I'm hoping to find a new apartment next year. Ugh, it's so stressful, right? And the last one, I feel like, verb in the ing form. So I feel like drinking a coffee right now, or I feel like taking a nap. I feel like doing some work. We can use this pattern to describe our emotions plus what we want to do. So this one is great to talk about your personal emotional feelings. I feel like going for a run. So this one the feel is very important here, relating to your feelings and your emotions. Okay, let me check your questions. Victor wrote, what is the difference between I don't and ain't? Good question. So ain't, we could argue, is non-standard English. Generally, well, maybe not taught so much in textbooks. Ain't is considered very casual, and depending on the region and depending on the person, it may or may not be commonly used. So ain't can be used, oh gosh, ain't is a very unusual kind of grammatical word. We can use it after a noun like I ain't doing that, which means I am not doing that, or he ain't so good at his job. I'm not using it like, I don't sound very natural using it because this is not a word that I use, but it's used as a negative. So like, he ain't very good at his job it sounds in standard English ungrammatical, but it means he is not very good at his job. So I don't would have a different use than ain't. Ain't has a very kind of flexible use, which is a bit different from today's lesson, but it's a very interesting question. Maybe we can talk about that someday. Okay, let me check the others. Minnow wrote, I'm hoping to eat out and rewind before my work starts. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm hoping to have lunch out and rewind before my work starts. Rewind. Rewind meaning go back. Maybe you want unwind. Unwind. That one maybe you want that. Rewind means go back. Unwind means like relax. Very close. Nice example. I'm hoping to eat out and unwind before my work starts. Zach wrote, I'm hoping to travel abroad next week. Great. Patrick wrote, can I use I'm waiting and not use hoping? I'm waiting to, yes, grammatically, I'm waiting to blah, blah, blah is 100% correct. Yes. However, the meaning changes. I'm waiting to move into a new apartment. I'm waiting to find a new job. Waiting sounds like you have something else is going to happen, and then after that, you can move to the next step. So grammatically, yes, waiting is also okay. An ing verb is okay, yeah? Others, I don't see others. Okay, let's continue to the examples. I want to try a new restaurant this weekend. I want to try a new restaurant this weekend. The second example, I want to spend some time outdoors. And a negative example, I don't want to move to a new place this year. I don't want to move. I don't want to. So we can use these to express lots and lots of different feelings, plans, and desires. Okay, let's move on because time's going quickly. Making a proposal, making a suggestion. We practiced would you like to and shall we in the dialogue. These two sound a little bit more formal. They sound more polite. Would you like to, blah, blah, blah. Shall we, blah, blah, blah. And you may also hear just shall we, often when you leave a location. For example, at the movie theater. You get into the movie theater, buy some snacks and drinks, and look around. You are with your friend, and you say, oh, shall we? Which means, shall we go to the next step? We use shall we alone to mean let's go to the next step or let's do the next thing. We use shall we like this in situations where it's very, very clear what the next step is. For example, going to a restaurant, yeah? Like when you walk into a restaurant or when you're outside the restaurant and you know you have to go in, you can say shall we, which means let's go inside, okay? So we can use shall we to do that. Okay, so polite invitations and suggestions, but here are some others. These ones are more common in everyday speech, so let's practice these a lot. We have, do you want to verb? Do you want to verb? This is the one I highly recommend for everyday conversations. Do you wanna? Do you wanna? It sounds like, do ya wanna? Do you wanna get a coffee? Do you wanna get a coffee? Do you want to go to the beach? Do you want to read a book? Do you want to watch a movie? So it sounds very fast because it's so commonly used. So this one, put it in your notes for today, for sure. The second pattern, how about verb ing? How about verb ing? How about watching a movie? How about going for a run? How about getting a coffee? So maybe you can hear my pronunciation now. Not how about verb, but how about. How about. So we don't type this. I want to make that clear. We don't type this or this, but it sounds like how about? How about? How about watching a movie? How about running? How about taking a nap? Okay? We can use this for another kind of casual suggestion. And finally, why don't we verb? Why don't we take a hike? Why don't we buy a new car? Why don't we go shopping? So why don't we is another pattern we can use. All of these are great for casual, everyday conversation. I use these a lot personally. The more formal types, sometimes it's good to use these with people you are not close to or when you want to sound polite. That's my recommendation. Let me find your example or your questions. Some good examples. Zach wrote, would you like to go to the concert with me tomorrow? Great, good polite one. Hugo wrote, would you like to come to the party this weekend? Nice one. Shall we continue to study English? Okay, so you're suggesting, shall we continue? Yes, we shall. It's my job. Okay. Hugo, do you want to go out for dinner? Great. Zach wrote, do you want to spend some time for a cup of coffee? Yeah, I would make that even shorter. Do you want to get a cup of coffee together? That's what I would say. Do you want to get a coffee? At the most native level. Do you want to get a coffee? Okay. Christian, can I use informal forms in a speaking test? Oh, it depends on the speaking test. I don't know your school or your teacher or your test. So maybe sometimes some tests will ask for an informal form. I don't know is the answer to that question. It depends on your test, okay? Victor wrote, do you want to grab a bite with me? Great. Zach wrote, why don't we just lie down after all the work? Why don't we just lie down after the workout? After the workout, sounds good. Okay. Mike wrote, can you explain about shall again, please? This point, shall we? Shall we is a polite suggestion. I have some videos about shall. You're watching on YouTube, so you can access. Type difference between shall and will. I have a video, probably many videos, about shall. I recommend you check those videos on the English Class 101 YouTube channel to get lots of details about shall. I hope that that helps you. Okay. Let's go to next. We need to move on to example sentences and then the last part. So our examples. Would you like to join me for dinner? At native speed, would you like to join me for dinner? And next, shall we? Shall we check out that new bookstore? Shall we check out that new bookstore? And finally, how about watching a movie tonight? How about watching a movie tonight? That sounds fun. Okay, let's continue to the final point, location questions, which we saw in the sample dialogue. So, where do we verb? Where do we verb? Where do we meet? Where do we get our tickets? And where is plus noun? These are very useful questions to use when making a plan, especially making a plan to meet somewhere or making a plan to buy something. So we can use these to organize our plan. Very important questions, okay? So we have, actually let me talk about these a little bit first. Where do we, well, I guess I talked about them in the dialogue. So let's practice some different ones because time is going quickly. We have some other options as well. How do I get to place? How do I get to place? At native speed is how do I get to place? How do I get to the station? How do I get to your house? How do I get to the hospital? How do I get to? How do I get to? And do you know where noun is? Do you know where noun is? Do you know where the hospital is? Do you know where my bag is? You can use that for objects also. Do you know where the cafe is? Do you know where my dog is? So we can use any noun in this position, yeah? And finally, where should we verb? Where should we verb? Where should we is very similar to where do we, right? Notice, where do we and where should we? They have almost exactly the same meaning. Where do we buy tickets and where should we buy tickets? I would use them the same. I think should sounds a little softer than where do we. Where do we sounds like let's make the plan perfectly. It's very clear and decided. Buy tickets at the station counter. We know exactly the place. Where should we is like asking for a suggestion from the other person. So where should we buy our tickets? Is asking like, what's a good place to buy our tickets? It's a little softer than where do we, okay? Let's continue to the last part, our examples for this section. Where do we meet before the concert? Where do we meet before the concert? How about at the entrance, okay? Or where is the exit for the subway station? Where's the exit for the subway station? Or finally, do you know where the ticket booth is? Do you know where the ticket booth is? Notice you might be like, why is this is at the end of this sentence? The grammar here is really strange, right? I'm not going to talk about this in today's lesson, but if you want to know more about these kinds of questions, look on the YouTube channel or on EnglishClass101.com. Do a search for what's called embedded questions. You can probably see it in the caption here if I speak clearly. Embedded questions. That's what the grammar here is called, where the grammar flips inside the sentence and the verb goes at the end, because this, where is the ticket booth, is the original question, right? But this question is inside another question. Do you know? So it's a question inside a question and takes different grammar. So search for embedded questions on the English Class 101 channel or website to find more. Okay, I have to finish there. Boom! Quiz time. What should we finish the sentence with? Let's go. So we have, I really want to blank a quiet place to study. Or naturally, I really want a quiet place to study. I really want to blank a quiet place to study. So today we practiced want to plus a certain verb form. We have find, found, finding, right? We have the base or present tense. We have past tense, found. And we have the progressive or continuous tense, finding. What do you think the answer is? The correct answer is, indeed, I really want to find a quiet place to study. I really want to find a quiet place to study. Christian has it. Great, Zach has it as well. Very nice. Great job, everybody. Rocky has it as well. Mike, excellent, excellent, everybody. All right, let's continue. Second quiz question. Blank, take a walk before it gets dark. Blank, take a walk before it gets dark. What are our options? Would we? Would we? Shall we? Shall we? Did we? Did we? Okay. What do you think? This one's an interesting one, yeah? Would we, shall we, or did we take a walk before it gets dark? What do you think? Hooray! Correct answers are coming in. LMAOs is your username, I think, on YouTube as the first one. Patrick and Danielle and Josue, I hope I got that right. Oh, some answers are coming on Facebook as well. Great. I see Luis and Sharafat and Carmen wrote find for the last one too. Yes, the answer is shall we? Shall we take a walk? Right, because the others don't make sense. Would we take a walk does not make sense. It's grammatically incorrect. Would we take a walk before it gets dark? Well, I suppose in a certain situation, if you're talking about a future plan, very future, hypothetical, unreal plan, maybe, but very strange situation. Did we take a walk before it gets dark? That's a past tense question about something that's going to happen in the future. This doesn't make sense either. So, shall we is correct. I think we have one more question and then we'll finish for today. Oh my gosh, I have to finish. Where blank the bus stop for the city center? Where is, where are, where be? Where be the bus stop? It is not be. It is be if you are a pirate. Pirates talk with this silly grammar. Where be the bus stop? So it's not be unless you are a pirate. The correct answer, because time is going quickly, where is? Where is? We use is because we have a singular noun here. Where is the bus stop? All right, great. We are going to finish there because time is out. Oh my gosh. We'll wrap up there. Free stuff, I'll remind you again in just a moment. Let's summarize. We talked about these patterns today. We love them. They are so useful for making plans. So I hope that you can use them during the holiday season and, of course, during your everyday life, because I use them probably every day. So let's finish up here and we'll wrap it up. Oh, that's right. Next week and the week after, I will be away, so please enjoy lovely Daphne. She will be teaching you, or rather sharing with you, a preview of 2026 in the USA. So it will be a holiday break for me personally, and I will see you again after the new year. So I will say that I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you so much for joining me this year and sending your great questions, your great comments, participating, and just having a good time here every week. That's really super cool. So I'll say goodbye for now. Don't forget to check out your free PDF cheat sheets that you can find at EnglishClass101.com from the link below or above the video. And have a great holiday season, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I will see you again in a few weeks. So until next time, bye-bye.